Little baby hairs. Hey guys, Andrea here, back with another video. Today I'm going to bring to you a review on the NYX Got You Covered Concealer. So this is supposed to be like waterproof and super high coverage. I just got this not too long ago and I figured why not film it. I have the shade Alabaster here, which is the lightest shade. It says full coverage concealer corrector. This velvety concealer indulges the skin with rich coconut oil while masking discoloration and imperfections. So the only things I have on my face right now are a moisturizer, which this morning I used the Tarte Maracuja oil, and I let that sink into my skin really good while I did some things around the house. And then I've got a very thin layer of the Tarte Hybrid Gel Foundation on my skin. I didn't build it up too much just because I wanted to see how this worked under the eyes, but also on like blemishes and imperfections, things like that. And then some brows, which I'm going to have to fix because now that I'm sitting here, I'm going, whoa. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. It comes in a little squeeze tube here, which I don't mind squeeze tubes just because you can actually get every bit of product out of these as opposed to like a glass bottle with a pump. I do still love a pump though. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to clip my bangs out of the way here just so they don't drive me too crazy. So I've got my finger. I've got this little brush that I use sometimes to blend out concealer. This is a Lamora brush. It's just kind of angled, flat top. It's like a mini foundation brush. It's super dirty. Sorry. What else is new around here? Come on, guys. And then I've got my Beauty Blender and my Real Technique sponge, which again are both dirty. So I'm actually just going to squeeze a little bit on the back of my hand here. I have no idea how much I'm going to need, so it is very thick. This kind of reminds me of, I have the NYX concealer, and it's like very similar packaging, and it is also very thick. If you want a review on that one, let me know, and I can certainly do that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my finger, and ooh, it is very thick and almost stringy, and just dot it underneath my eyes. I always need some coverage in that area. Again, I don't know how much of this I'm going to need, but we're going to go for it. I'm also going to go over any little spots, which just basically means my whole chin and jaw, these days anyway. And then, you know, I like to cover a little bit of the redness on my cheeks with a little additional concealer. A lot of times I will just go in, especially with that Hybrid Gel Foundation. It has a really good coverage, so a lot of times I will just go in with a second layer of that on the cheek and chin area, and that usually will cover it unless I have like active blemishes. But I just wanted to test this out in all aspects. It's blending out pretty nicely, actually. I thought with how thick it was, maybe it wouldn't. I feel like it's definitely one that I will want to set. The color is not too bad either. I was worried that that would be a little dark, and it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. So I'm just going to go in and blend this out a little bit with my finger, and then I will use the sponge. Okay, so that did definitely offer some coverage. Not as much as I was expecting or hoped it would. I'm actually going to go in and just add another layer right in those areas. I think my chin's mostly covered because once I set my face, and then if I use like a powder with some tint to set my face, it won't be so bad. So I'm going to leave, I think, my chin area alone. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pop some more under my eyes just to see how it builds. Yeah, see, I don't love how this is blending it out, so I'm actually just going to go in with my finger. Wrong finger. I know you're supposed to use your ring finger because it's gentler, but I can't do it. Sorry. So overall, it doesn't look terrible. It's definitely something that I will set because it feels still very tacky. And I haven't let it sit on my skin very long, but to me, a concealer that's very tacky seems like it's going to crease up. You can already kind of see it is a little bit underneath this eye, which I don't get too worried about stuff like that, again, because if I set them, usually I'm fine. And I also have a tendency to put eyeshadow underneath the eye area so that a lot of times you don't actually even see that. I am going to go ahead and go finish the rest of my face, and I will be back to give you my final thoughts on this concealer. Alright, so I am back. I have finished the rest of my... I kind of got a little theme going on here today. I promise you I did not intend to match my eyes, nails, lips, and shirt. But hey, I mean, I guess I'm going to go with it. It's kind of a burgundy type of day. Anyway, so I did finish my face. I used the Tarte's Pro palette on the eyes. And like I said, I always kind of diffuse that shadow underneath my lash line, which is where I would have most of my fine lines. So I don't really notice a lot of times if concealer is creasing up in that area because it is covered in eyeshadow now. When I did set my under eye area, it seemed to take the creasing down quite a bit, which is very common. I use the MAC Pro Emphasize powder to set my under eye area, which does have a little bit of like a brightening or a color kind of correcting property. I didn't really feel like that was cheating because that's always what I use to set my under eye area. That's what I would use to set my under eye area. So to me, it did help brighten it up a little bit, but again, that's what I would use anyway, so I wanted to test this out as if like I were using it. It doesn't brighten it up enough to be like, oh well, that's clearly you got all the coverage in the world from that powder and none from the concealer. It just gives like a little bit of a brightening property. So overall, I think it looks pretty good, especially sitting in front of the natural light here. In my bathroom in that light, it was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but now that I'm sitting here, I think that it looks pretty good, actually. It's not, I wouldn't say it's on par with like my Tarte Shape Tape or Urban Decay Naked Skin, but for the price point, I didn't really expect it to be. It's not bad at all. It's very, very thick, which I guess I kind of expected, but I didn't expect it to be like when I was putting it on my hand and I did like this, it was like string, you know what I mean, like cling to this finger and string all the way up. So that was a little bit different, but it doesn't feel like super heavy under my eyes or like it's like really like a lot of makeup on my face. However, I am used to wearing makeup, so maybe that's part of it. I do think it looks nice. I think that it's definitely one that I'm not planning to return it or throw it away or anything like that. Like I will definitely use it. Is it my everyday holy grail concealer? Probably not, but is it one that I definitely will use and cycle in here and there? For sure. It's playing well with all the other products on my face, and it's offering me what I would want for a full face of makeup. It's offering me that amount of coverage. So that's also good. I think it's a good concealer. I think for the price point, it's very good. I'm happy with the shade, which is something that I was really concerned about because a lot of times drugstore concealers especially run very dark and I am very fair. But for the most part, I think it looks pretty good. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with anything else that you'd like to see or any like other products maybe that you want to review or something like that. I will get the stink eye back here. I could definitely try to get my hands on some of those things. If you want to see reviews on them, just let me know and I will do my best to do that. Daddy's home! Anyway, comment down below with anything like that. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Be sure you click that little bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And thanks so much for watching. I will see you soon.